Natasha Makes. Oh, YouTube is a little bit behind. There we go.
It's with us now.
Morning, YouTube. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Natasha Makes. I moved all the things out the way and now it all looks bare. Yeah. But better luck. We're getting there on the lighting. The lighting is...
Yes.
The professional stuff arrives on Wednesday, obviously, after we've done all the week shows. Yeah. So that's fabulous. But it doesn't matter because we're going to be focusing on what is on the mat. Jane, what is on the mat today?
Well, I've got my pieces cut out ready for the... we're calling it fancy folding, I think, is what Gemma said.
We've done. That's how you've described it to us, Jane.
Yeah.
We went on what you said.
Because we've done folded star and we've done origami star, so it's a bit of a combination of both, but it gives you a really pretty... I've made 3 with the bundles. You'll be able to make 3 blocks, which has made the front of this runner, hanger, table runner, whatever you want to use it for. Or you could make cushions. I wanted to do it and make it into a cushion. It's fabric manipulation, so it's quite tactile. You want to stroke it a lot.
Oh, Jane, I can do a thing.
You can do a thing.
Ooh, I know. Look at that.
Let me see it there. Look. That's that one.
Oh, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? Look at that.
It is lovely.
Who knew? Who knew we can do this? Now, you did that out of 2 of our chambrays.
Yes,
there's the green and the red, wasn't it?
Yeah. Chambrays look beautiful in it. Any combination would look fabulous.
Very,
Half
very
metre
beautiful.
of each fabric, so it's not a complicated bundle. It's not a complicated make. It's just a little bit of hand sewing, which I know you don't like, but it's not a lot, and it's not precise hand sewing.
I think this is a manageable amount.
Yes.
Very manageable amount. So that is what we have for you today. Now, obviously our chambrays are available. They're on the website, so you can fill your boots there. But also what we have are the Tilda Christmas fabrics.
They look beautiful in the duos.
They really do. So what we've done, and you only need 2.5 metres, we've paired them. Because Jane said to me, what you need is... what you need is... probably to zoom out so I can show you on the mat. 2 contrasting fabrics. So that's what we've gone with. Is it not, Jane?
Yes. We've gone with the... What's this one called? It's like it's the blender, but it's must have a name.
So there's Noel and Eve are the 2 blenders. I'm going to get them out from behind here. Can I also say, actually, very, very quickly, yesterday we had all the gremlins in all the world. And we had to hand send out all of the emails for the Zoom. But 14 of you have clicked unsubscribe from the emails. So you're never going to get the link because you've unsubscribed. So please don't unsubscribe from the information at info@Natasha Makes Designs email, or we can't send you the links because you have said I don't want to hear from you anymore, and you won't get your link.
Well, we can't resubscribe them, can we? Without
GDRP is a bit of a nightmare on that. So if you didn't get the link yesterday. Oh, there we go.
Because I moved, sorry.
That's all right.
Keep still.
If you didn't get the link yesterday, can you just email info@NatashaMcCartyDesigns.com and just check that you haven't been one of those ones that have accidentally, and just put in there that you give permission for us to reinstate it.
Yeah. Because
otherwise we can't send it to you. You have been the ones that have done it. We haven't. No. We can't. So there we go. I'm going to have to stop that from auto-focusing all the time.
Yes,
because
it's going to make people dizzy.
Yeah. But it's okay, Jane, because we're going to look at these. Now, Jane said she wanted contrasting fabrics, so that's what I've given her.
I feel
and we did
that
it together.
With the design, you need to have a fabric that you can see, because we looked at putting the red... which one's this one called? Sorry.
This is Eve in petrol, and then this is Noel in red.
So we looked at putting the red Eve with the red Noel, but I felt that it would disappear. There's not enough definition between the two. But this petrol is in the same colour as the roses.
Because there's Noel Mist and Eve
Let me move
Red.
these pieces out of the way.
We've got these two. Because these were the ones that we sort of wondered about switching around, didn't we?
Yes.
But actually, we're really happy with this combination. But you can. And ultimately, say you want to do Christmas cushions or you want to have a combination of different fabrics, then you can obviously buy both. These are at a really, really, really incredible price of $14.99 for 2.5 metres. That's for a metre of Tilda.
That's amazing.
Just for today. We're really limited on these. This is the last of our Tilda.
And although they've got Christmassy names, they're not necessarily Christmas.
No, they're really not,
fabric.
because they're
this has got
roses.
a little bit of holly, but that's not.
Oh, I just thought they were berries. I hadn't even...
If you look at it close, I mean, you really do have to look at it, but they're not obviously holly.
No, they're really not. So that's another bundle there. And then the greens. So this is your Noel Cream and your Eve in Pine. So
That's
picking out those
beautiful.
greens.
That's so country cottage, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, just stunning, stunning, stunning.
Just lovely. I love that.
Isn't it beautiful?
Gorgeous.
Did you want to have a real close up on one of those, just so that you can see? Because I can do that, Jane. If you pop it on the desk, I can zoom in.
Ooh, look at that. That's so clever.
I know. So so it's not, you don't look at that and go, oh my god. In fact, I had a Laura Ashley fabric called Kate, because I was Natasha Kate,
Yes.
on my wallpaper, which was very, very similar to that, and it just looked like rosebuds.
Yes.
That was
It's
all it
so
was.
pretty. I mean, if you really look closely, where am I? Here. So this bit here, I think, is supposedly holly, but it's not obviously holly.
It could also just be buds, couldn't it?
It's just leaves and buds or berries. It's beautiful.
Which is what makes this such a versatile bundle. And then I don't know which one's Eve and which one. This is the Eve one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then Eve is coming in there.
You get used to which camera's where, isn't it? And it's that one, isn't it, that's
Yeah.
bringing it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it pretty?
It
That's
won't
so
be for
lovely.
long because that's going to be wall mounted soon. So
Yeah.
I know, just as I start to get used to it.
We'll get used to everything and we'll change it
Yeah,
all
it will
again.
change again.
Look at this. This is so nice.
There you're next to.
If you like your icy blues, well, this is more of a
This is your duck
colour.
egg.
It's like duck
Yeah.
egg, yeah. But for some people, because some people have this colour, don't they, rather than the traditional green and red. This is beautiful.
Gemma does. Let me take these out of the way because they're just starting to get in the way of the camera. Sorry, everyone. There we go.
Look at those. They're so pretty. That is a gorgeous combination.
They're very, very pretty, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that you pick the colours that sing for you.
And I love the way that the red works with this green one. That is lovely. Look at that. It's the green background. This is Noel Moss and Eve Burgundy.
Gemma's just said yes, it is. It's
Okay.
$14.99. It should be $17.58. So it's quite a nice saving on these. But how beautifully those go together.
Gorgeous. And then this one, this is a real classic.
I think this is an unsung hero.
That is so pretty. Lovely neutral. Noel Taupe, the floral one, this one, Noel Taupe. And this is Eve Clay. And these are beautiful. These are very soft beiges and creams. Classic colours. Classic Tilda, isn't it, really?
I think it's Tilda back at her best, isn't it?
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
That's kind of where I feel these are. Is like, yeah, that's Tilda doing her thing. And we know because they sold out on the day. We tried so hard to get extras. And we
Supplier
could
can't
not
get any more,
more.
can they?
Nope.
This is a
And this is what we said to you, know, when Tilda does her fabrics, it's one print run and it's done.
yeah.
That's it. You know, with Cave, you have his classics and you can get some of his fabrics ongoing, some of the favourite ones. But with these ones, it's one and done.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that's really lovely about Tilda is the whole it always goes with the other collections, doesn't it? So you
Yes.
can mix and match it all the
You're
time.
not left high and dry, are you? You are buying into like a fabric family with hers.
Yes. Yeah.
So you can mix and match through, and it's a very, very, very beautiful thing. Right, Jane. Let's do this thing. Now, of course, you can do these in the chambrays. We've got the chambrays on the website.
Yeah, you can do it in plains. You could do rainbow colours. You could make... I think once you start and you get the technique down, you're going to want to make lots of these, because it's really quite... Not only is it mindful, but it's tactile as well, and you get this lovely...
Yes.
It's the sort of thing that you'll be able to do the machine part, and then you'll be able to sit in an evening with do that little bit of hand sewing.
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
Make
For
beautiful
sure.
cushions, or bag fronts, or add it into with another block. You know, it could.
It's a starting point, isn't it?
It's just really nice.
It's like we said yesterday. It's when we did on our Zoom. I was like, this is like your base tomato sauce,
Yes.
and then what you choose to season it with is then up to you. What poppers you put on it,
Yeah.
whether you curve or do straight lines on the flap. It's entirely up to you. So those are the sorts of things. This Jane's instructions, they are going to show you how to make this runner. But if you use that block to just make that star, then you can have it as a cushion. You can have it for lots of other
Yeah,
other
you could
things.
make a bag front with it,
Yes.
purse. You could just, I set mine into a square, and I'll show you how to do that, because it's like a reverse applique over the top. Now, I've done it in the same colour as the fabric that I've used on the front of the star, but you could use a contrast fabric. You could I put it on point. You could put it square if you wanted to. There's lots of other things that you could do with it. You could just use the star block on its own. It's only tiny. It's about 6-inch finished, so you could make little pin cushions, or make 4 and put them together and make. There's all the things, combinations that you could do with it.
Gemma has just messaged me. You know when Gemma messages me and oh no,
Yeah.
I've done a thing.
Oh dear.
Done a thing with the chambrays. Right.
Cool.
The amazing deal we offered at the end of July, where they got a free ½ metre of chambray with the purchase of 1 metre of bamboo toweling, that has been reactivated for today.
Nice.
Have we got much bamboo toweling left?
I don't think so, but
I don't
well,
know.
at the moment I don't really know where anything is, so I don't know.
We're on a journey of discovery.
I've just come back from holiday. Tash has been busy trying to put everything straight, and I'm just stood there going, she says, where's, and I'm like, I don't know. Just yesterday I just thought, I don't know anything. I'm like,
There was you, me and Sally, and I was like, right, we're going to hit this as a team. So we're going to, because at the end of the day, we all pick for the orders.
Yes, we do.
So
yeah.
apologies that your orders are late. We know, and we apologise. It's partly why you got them at like 40% off, because we knew there would be a delay, and that was explained at the time. And also, we're up to a certain point, and now we're having to find things. So it's taking us a lot longer whilst we find things. Because with the best will in the world, the plan that we had to move one thing and bring it in, went to pot when at 5 minutes to 9 on the day of the move, the removal guys cancelled by text. So with the best will in the world, it was not the smooth move that we had imagined for ourselves.
No, it got a bit frantic, didn't it, towards the end?
So so we're just recovering from that in many, many, many ways. Many, many ways. So yeah, that was it really.
Yeah, and it's not just been the warehouse this time either, has it?
No, it's been
been
everything.
your whole home.
It's been everything. Everything has had to move. Yeah. So
Poor old Tash. She just needs to go and lie down in a dark corner and hum to herself quietly.
yes. Never mind. I'm going to let you get on with this, and I'm going to take my remote just so that I can zoom, Jane, so I can zoom
in.
I need to work out how to stop that from auto-focusing all the time, and that's my fault. I said to Josh, I need new cameras that will auto-focus and do all these things.
No, we didn't realise how much autofocusing it would do. Never mind. Oops. Never mind.
There we go. I'm going to now have to find you on the mat. Where are you, Jane? On the mat.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Doesn't want to do it. Come on. Oh. That is because... Bear with me, Jane. Just bear with. You know how we have a... We were very excited because obviously our broadband is so much better here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't allow for was the 6 to 10 foot of sandstone brick that is in the middle of the building between the router and this. So that's been more fun to navigate.
Yeah.
Yes. There we go.
Right. If you can see, I've got my large square there. That is the one that I'm going to use sort of as the background of the star. So that's my focus fabric. So in the pattern it says main fabric and contrast fabric. The contrast fabric is the fabric that you're really going to see the least of, but makes the star shape. I think it looks a bit like a poinsettia, which is why I wanted to do it in the red and the green with the Christmassy feel. But it's a star shape, a flower shape, however you see it, because we all see things slightly differently, don't we? So your large square, which is what you're going to see the most of, then your contrast fabric, you'll need a small square. All the measurements will be in the pattern, and then you'll need 4 rectangles of that contrast and 4 rectangles of your main fabric as well. So squares and rectangles to start with. So that's fairly straightforward, isn't it? So we take one of our contrast rectangles and we take one of our main fabric rectangles and we place them right sides together, and we're going to hem seam 1/4 inch just down one of the long sides on all 4. So we're putting them together in pairs. Glasses.
Oh, hang on. Zoom in.
And you can chain piece this because you've got... Now I'm just making one block, but if you wanted to make the 3 to make the runner, or 3 cushions, or whatever you'd like to do with them, then you'll need 12 of each rectangle and 3 of your small square and 3 of your larger square.
Oh, these fabrics are beautiful.
They're gorgeous. And the lovely thing about Tilda's fabrics is it's a beautiful base cloth to start with. So it's a lovely quality cotton that sews really nicely.
It was a couple of years back, wasn't it, that she changed mill, where it was made. Now, Tilda's fabric used to have the same shrinkage as any normal cotton between I think it's 5 and 7%, and then when she changed mill, the base cloth improved to such an extent that it was like 3 to 5% shrinkage, which is incredible. And I don't really know any other people that kind of
Make
that promise, if I'm honest.
Tasha's trying to get to the to the ironing board here. I'm going to now press this, and I'm going to press my seam open.
We're there. Oh look, Jane. What's that?
What is it? I think that's the floor.
Is it the floor?
No, it's the ironing board. Where are we?
I don't know.
I don't know where we are.
Idea.
No, I don't know.
Oh no! Look, it's the top of the. Oh, I don't know if I can do it now. No, wrong way. I can't do it. Honestly, Joe. There you go. Look. There.
Oh, there we are. There we are, look.
Oh, what had I got to then? Maybe the floor. Maybe I had got to the floor. Whee! Josh is like, it's
Isn't
very
that so
simple.
Such fun playing with this.
It's probably making everyone feel really seasick, Jane.
Everybody be giddy.
Sorry.
So I'm pressing the seam open in the pairs. And then I'm going to press the two rectangles right sides together. There's quite a lot of pressing with this to start with.
It's a pressing matter.
It's a pressing matter. Just using a dry iron at this stage. Right, so I've got those pressed open. I'm going to then place them right sides together and make sure that I've got that seam nice and flat and square. I found pressing it open rather than one side actually gave me, which is ridiculous really, but gave me a flatter seam. So we press them back together.
Say that again. Pressing what? Oh, pressing the seam open and then
Pressing it together.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. No, I can see how that would be a thing.
I hadn't sort of thought about it before, but it does. So just making sure that that sewn seam is nice and flat together. And then we're going to press these. Now, at this point, you've still got the option to decide which way round you want to have your, I'm going to call it a star. You can call it a flower. But if you want your contrasting fabric
Oh, no, wrong way.
on the inside,
Come back. Sorry.
we're going to press it so that that fabric is on the inside, so facing us. And then we're going to fold it in half. Now don't worry too much about what the sides are doing at this point. You're just going to fold it, you're just finger pressing it because you just want the crease to give you the guide, because we're now going to fold those edges in to create a triangle. And we want that to be quite close together at the top for the point. So you want a nice crisp point and you want the edges nice and flat together.
Okay.
Not overlapping, just butting up to each other.
It's a bit like making a paper aeroplane, isn't it?
Yes, you want the point to be as crisp and as flat as you can. Keep getting the right quarter point. And then you give it a press. I didn't mean to do the steam then. I'm still using a dry iron. I just caught the steam.
Just got overexcited. I've got another message from Gemma. She tells me that the bamboo toweling is sold out in both the blue and the teal. So well done if that was you and you managed to get hold of that.
So again, we're just finger pressing to get that middle line as a guide, if you like, and then bringing those points, those edges into the middle. It's the seamed edge that you're bringing into the middle. So you've got your seam facing each other. And we're just going to give that a nice press. So we're basically making 4 triangles.
Now obviously we're using kind of Christmassy fabrics here. But Jane, it did occur to me that if you were doing a set of cushions, you know the chambray deal that we had on the Friday deals?
Yes.
Would be very, very beautiful.
You could use
As
any,
well.
you know, any of your fabrics, couldn't you, really? And just having to match your decor,
Would be
you know,
immense,
it would
yeah.
be beautiful.
Now, those of you that are members will have got, just after 9 o'clock last night, if you weren't on the Zoom, then we did give out a code to get an extra £10 off the Tilda Spot bundle that we had on yesterday's show. So if you are a Natasha McCarty Designs member, or a Quilting with Jane member, or a Cork Makes member, you will have had an email last night, as long as you're not one of the 14 that's unsubscribed. Then you will have had an email with that discount code on. Now, Jane, £10 off an already discounted bundle.
It's crazy.
Well, that is your membership paid for the month.
Yeah.
You know, and
That is
that's
such a good saving. And, well,
spots you can't go wrong with,
can't
can
go
you?
wrong with spots. I love spot fabric. Do love spot fabrics.
And these are, I know we're heading towards Christmas, but these are just spots that make you really, really happy. And then, so that was the 1/2 metre spot bundle that we had on yesterday's show, which actually I know Gemma had to try and load some more bundles of because they had gone remarkably well. And if I just interrupt you, Jane, just to show everybody where they are, it's these here.
They're gorgeous fabrics.
So you've got a grey one, a mustardy one, a darker pink, a lighter pink, a lighter blue and a darker blue. They're very, very beautiful. Could you possibly just grab that yesterday's make? And we'll pop that on the table and then we can have a quick look there. And just swing it round towards the camera.
That way.
Up towards the window.
That way. Yeah.
There you go.
There we
That's the way. There you go. So they are the colours.
Yeah.
They are the colours. And I don't know if we have any of...
These zips are nice.
Yeah. We had those on a Friday deal ages ago. And I might have snaffled myself some. But if you were on the Zoom yesterday, this was what we made. Now we had a 1/2 metre heaven duo of your khaki.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah. Now we did record the session so it will get uploaded. But that was what we made. Beautiful, isn't it?
It's lovely.
Really, really, really lovely. So we
I
had
like that with all the pockets. That's very handy.
you can either buy the fabric by itself or we had a very, very limited number of 1/2 metre heavens. $10.99 for 2 1/2 metres.
This is Tilda, isn't it, as
Yeah.
well? And that's our plain, isn't it?
Khaki.
Khaki.
Yeah.
That goes beautifully with that.
Doesn't it? And again, you could use that for today's make. But if you read your Friday newsletter, and I know that a lot of you did, then you will also have seen the chambrays. Now, these aren't our chambrays, they're Tilda chambrays, so they are a lot more expensive. But we did do a thing whereby if you bought one bundle, you got another half price. But Jane, look, just how they're set out. Could you imagine doing this particular make?
Yeah, and the spot with the
Like in these.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And of course, because they're Tilda chambrays, they go with all the collections. So you really could.
This is a lovely classic-y one, isn't it?
And it goes beautifully with the Christmas fabrics that we've just had.
Yeah.
Whereas this one goes really beautifully with the fabric I've just shown you. So lots and lots and lots to play out. They are still on that deal if you would like to get your little mitts on them.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice, nice, nice. Right, so we've got 4 triangles now that we've created. And we take our smaller contrast square and we're going to place the raw edge, the unsewn edge of the triangle, so the point is in the middle. Now if you want to, you can fold your base square into 4 so that you've got creases that you can line up the points of your triangle with so that you know you're in the middle. You're going to put the 2 opposite sides together so that the points are touching but not overlapping. Now you may want to pop a pin in at this point because we're going to open those out so they're lying on top of the square. Just pop a pin in on each side just to hold it.
Cynthia sent us a very lovely message from America. She says, greetings, Jane, welcome back. Natasha's having great fun with her new camera device. I mean, I'm not sure if it's fun for everybody else, but she does say it's so much easier for us to see. That is the plan. And with anything new, it just takes a little while to get used to, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's like when you get a new car.
Yes, and finding all the controls.
And it's almost the same.
We're now going to sew. Now, I can see that fold that I made when I first started it. So it's that fold down the middle. So we're going to sew straight down, just down the middle, just to hold, attach those rectangles, triangles, whatever you want to refer to them as now, to the base fabric.
Oh, so you're going across the middle.
Yeah. So when we folded the rectangle in half to find the middle point and then folded the triangle in, that's the line that we're using as our guide. So we're going to fold that back down, and I'm just going to pop a pin in just to hold that together. And we're going to do the same on the top one.
Jane, we only have one left of the half-metre duo of the Eve Pine and Noel Cream.
I'm not surprised, that is a beautiful one. And then we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So we're going to place the triangle in that gap there, and then the other one opposite. We're going to open them out, just making sure that they're right into the gap. You might find on your machine you would want your walking foot on, just to give you that little bit, because you've got quite a few layers here, and it just gives you that bit of stability when you use your walking foot.
You know how I found my pencil case with all my with my walking feet and everything for this machine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in a box labelled somewhere.
I know. We've got lots of boxes labelled, and they're generally all Natasha Studio Desk. I'm like, oh!
Yeah. There was the trolley by your desk, and I just didn't even do anything with that. I thought that can go as it is.
Just go in a one.
Yeah. So, and we're going to sew again, just down through the middle there, just to attach, where all we're doing is attaching the rectangles to the base square.
Oh, this is nice. I'm glad that you are getting, like I say, we don't have mega stocks of this Tilda, but the duos are particularly beautiful, and you can mix and match them because they all go. That's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah. So we can press that back together and that back together and that one down there. I'm just going to pop a pin in just to hold those edges together. And now I'm going to, we're just tacking it, so if you want to lengthen the stitch on your machine, you can do that, because we're just going to tack all the way around the edge, and when we get to the corners here, we just want to make sure that the corners are butting up against each other. Just going all the way around the edge, just to hold the triangles down to that base fabric. Just about 1/8 of an inch in. You don't have to worry that the edges don't match, because it's all going to be hidden away. But what you want to do is make sure that all of the folded bits are butting up together, not overlapping, just butting up against each other. I can't imagine what the captions are doing, and every time I say butting up, it's like,
yeah, I do. I'm not looking. I'm not looking, Jane. I'm not looking.
You know when you say a word and you think, actually, that's just, stop saying it now.
And then you keep saying it because it's then in your head, and that's the end. Shall I just have a little look? Let me have a little look. I'm scared now, Jane. I'm scared. Carol's here, Brenda's here. Sue says, love an adventure, makes life interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are loving it, it's just a little bit stressful.
Yeah. Laura says the machine is loud today. You couldn't hear it at all on the members' Zoom. So has something changed? Yes. The sound was going through Zoom yesterday, which cuts out background noise. And our microphone picks up everything. So that's what the difference is. So it's not to do with anything other than Zoom cuts out any background noise. When will you be stocking the magic storage to keep all the fabric? In dire need of it, please. Yes, Anne. The magic storage.
Yeah.
I think it's called actually using it sometimes.
You all need that magic storage, that one that magically expands without making anything else happen. So I've just gone round the edge there. So this is what your star, beginning of your star looks like. Okay.
Oh, beautiful.
So now we're going to go to our large background square, and this is the square that we're setting it into. So it's a bit like reverse applique.
Oh, hang on, you need me to move stuff now, don't you?
I'm just going to fold this into 4, and again it's just finger pressing so that I've got guideline creases. Into quarters, in half, and then half again. And we're doing all of this on the reverse of the fabric, on the wrong side. Okay, so fabric marker and your ruler. I chose to have slightly smaller square. I think you need to give yourself, I've given myself half an inch. You can give yourself a quarter of an inch bigger square, smaller square. But I think giving yourself that little bit more, so half an inch smaller, just gives it a bit more rigidity. I tried it with a smaller one, and some of my edges, some of my folds.
What do you mean as in smaller square?
That it's set into. So you wouldn't want to make your square the same size as your base cloth anyway.
Right.
You might want to make it half an inch smaller. But that only gives you a quarter of an inch edge that disappears. You'll understand when I actually do this.
Okay.
So I've made it an inch smaller. Now I'm putting it on point, so actually, and the measurements will be all in the instructions. But you have to take into account, I use my mat a lot when I'm working this out, because when you put something on point, the actual square space is actually bigger because it goes on point. It's all to do with geometry. I was never very good at geometry in maths. I loved maths, but geometry was my weaker.
It's your Pythagoras' theorem, isn't it? Of a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
So I've gone with a 7.5 inch aperture is what we're making. We're making an aperture to go over the top of there, to sit over the top of our square. So I've gone 3 3/4 from the middle line to the outside edge. Also take into account how much space you're giving yourself between the edge of your fabric here and your aperture square. Again, you don't want to make it too small because it does get pulled in a little bit. This is just so that, you know, if you want to adapt the size maybe. So I've made my marks. Can't really see it very well now. I've used an orange pen on a red fabric, which is not the best idea. And now we're going to join those up to make a diamond. Thanks, we'll try blue. I can see it, but I don't know whether it shows up on the camera.
Even with my super zoom?
Yes. I'm going to use a slightly bigger square ruler just because you can. Now, you can, if you want to, you can use your 45-degree line on your ruler to line that up with your centre one to get it to the point that you need it to. Or you can just simply line up your marks on your square. I'll just double check I've got the right point there. I love these itsy bitsy. They go right 1/8 measurement so you can really see where you are.
Jane, I'm just going to leave you for a second. I've just had a missed call which I think might be Freddie's school.
Okay. So we're just marking now, drawing up those lines so that we're joining up the points that we made to make a square. And the square's on point. Just turn that round and line up these ones here. So there we are, we've got our square marked now. So we're going to take our scissors And we're just going to snip into that middle bit. I've got the crease so we can see the middle. Into that middle bit there. And then we're going to follow those crease lines and we're going to snip our fabric right up to that corner, with the point in the corner of the square. We're going to do that on all 4 sides. Is he okay?
Yeah, do you know what? You always panic, don't you, when there's a number that's the school,
Yeah.
but actually it's Freddie's new form teacher. So at Freddie's new school, because he's gone to secondary school, they have the same form teacher for 5 years.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice bit of continuity.
Yeah.
Because everything else changes all the time, doesn't it?
So that was his new form teacher ringing to check that Freddie was happy with his first 3 days at school, 4 days at school, and making sure that he was happy and that we'd felt everything had gone well and blah, 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 blah.
That's nice.
I didn't have the heart. The only thing Freddie was concerned about was whether or not to go pack lunch or school dinner. You know, these are the vital questions of the day, Jane.
It's very important. So we've snipped that now, so we've made this
I'm finding you. There you
square
go.
in the middle.
Whee!
And we're going to press those back. Now, bear in mind that this is now a biased edge, so just fold it back gently, finger press it slightly, and then give it a press with the iron. And literally just plonk the iron on the top
Steam
of
or
it.
no steam?
No steam, it's still at this point.
Do we steam at some point?
I did once I'd made it, because when you manipulating the fabric it pulls it in a little bit.
Right.
So when I was just straightening it up I did put a little bit of steam on just to soften the fibres to make them stretch a little bit.
If you want to make the most of the £10 off the half metre spot bundle, please be quick, because when they're gone, they're gone. You know, it's obviously going to be popular because there's a nice big discount on it and a lot of members.
So you can see now we've made an
Oh,
aperture.
nice.
If I turn that over you can see how that works. So we pop our square or folded fabric underneath and we just line it up. We've got the points, so we line up the folds. So these are the folded edges of the sides of the triangles here, and we fold that up. Now there's a lot of holding it down and turning it over to check that it's all lined up.
Jane, I have a
and pinning
question.
it.
Could you use your quilter's wash away
Yes, you probably
tape
could.
on the very, very edges,
If you pop,
and then it would hold it?
if you popped a piece of your quilt along there on each side, it would hold it and make life a lot easier. Now you can trim these bits of triangle away, but I would give yourself a good ½ inch, if not an inch, just because you've got that extra.
You don't need to skimp, do you? That's
No,
the thing.
and this
There's
is-
no need for skimpiness.
I
It's
think
not a bikini.
you're better not to, be generous with your seam allowances and everything on this, because the worst thing that would happen is you'd come to put it on and you wouldn't have enough, and it would just pull apart, and you don't really want that after you spent all that time sewing it together. And then you've got lots of little triangles that you can use for something else.
Jane, I've got to start all over again. I had such a purge when we moved, and I threw out all the little bits that I'd been saving because they were vital.
And now you've got nothing.
I'm soon going to have something though, aren't I? Let's be honest.
Yes, it won't take long to replenish
No.
stocks.
No, replenish.
We we did the interfacing bundles, didn't we? Scrap bags. And those were all the bits that you used to use for your demo pieces. So you've got no like offcuts for demos. No,
I had to cut myself.
Cut yourself a whole half-metre piece.
I mean, it just...
It's very decadent.
It was decadent. I was like, hang on, this is me actually having... I don't think... I was saying yesterday on the demo, on the Zoom, if I didn't have this business, I would only ever sew with scraps, because I would be that person that's too scared to cut into nice new stuff.
Well, we're also very guilty, aren't we? And I'm the same. That you have this beautiful fabric and actually you don't want to cut it up.
And yet,
because it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I've got loads of fabric that I just, I get it out and I stroke it and then put it, refold it and put it back. You can see on here, you can see your points as well, because you folded it when you were cutting it up. So, yeah, having the quilter's wash away tape look makes that so much easier.
There you go. I've peaked, Jane.
I've
peaked. That's me done for the day now.
So we're now going to top stitch this down, and we're just going to sew as close to that folded edge on the aperture as we can. And you might want to use the same colour thread. I mean, I've got like a greeny grey because that's what I was using for the chambray. It's not going to look awful on this because it's a similar colour to the roses. Yeah. But you may want to change your thread to the same colour as the main fabric.
Ginny said that she was thrilled with her scrap bag of interfacings. Thank you.
Yeah, there were some nice chunky pieces in there. And I tried to make sure there was a good variety of types of interfacing as well. This is what happens when you get a scrap bag done by somebody that uses fabrics, because they're like, oh, you'll just need a bit of this and maybe just try a bit of that.
Bit of this, bit of that.
And try this one too.
Jane, which ruler were you using? Was it the Perfect 5?
Yes.
Yes. Julie says she doesn't know she wasn't watching, she was distracted by buying before everything sells out. And she said she uses hers a lot more than she thought she would. It is one of those things.
Yeah, those Perfect 5s are ideal, particularly for like when you're doing your bags and you're just cutting that little bit of a corner out, or when you want to just check a seam on something when you're doing something small piecing. Sharon
is not sure how your brain works to come up with these designs. No, it's nice to come up with these designs. It's not even a rummage around to find the compliment. It's a straight up compliment, Jane. It's there. She says, amazing.
I'm not going to lie to you. I saw this on Pinterest and followed and worked out. I mean, it wasn't a pattern that I followed. I just watched a demonstration about 20 times and then thought, oh, right, yes, I know.
Well, I mean, that's just it, because they did a cushion, didn't they? But we wanted a table runner. And a technique is a technique.
Yeah. Right, so this is the hand sewing bit now. So basically, this is your block. And you can make as many or as few. You might make one of these and think, oh, I'm not doing that again. And you'll use it for the front of a cushion or a bag or whatever. Because we do this, don't we? We all try. I've got blocks that I'm in my stash that I thought, oh, that looks fabulous, and then I've made it and I'm like, I'm not making more of these.
but not quite proud of myself that I made one in the first place. Yeah.
I've done the one. That looks fabulous. Right, so we're now going to, basically we're pulling these edges together. So I've done a knot in the bottom in my thread, and I'm coming up in approximately the middle, about halfway down the straight side. It's not an exact science, and the more you do this, the more you'll get to be able to gauge it. So my needle's coming up in the middle of that triangle there. I'm taking the thread completely over to that folded edge. That's the seam where we've got the seam with the contrast in. And I'm coming up into that seam, and then I'm just going to do a running stitch, quite a big running stitch, and it sort of goes, it's not quite straight, it sort of goes at a slight angle It's not a huge angle, but it's a slight angle. And then you want to make sure that your needle's coming up in that fold of the folded edge of the triangle that you made. And then you're simply pulling your thread. And this is why I say you want to be careful about how much of a gap here, because can you see how that starts to pull this side of your fabric up? You're going to need to, and this is when I use the steam, when you've done it all, you're going to need to give it a bit of a press around the edge, and a bit of steam will just flatten that slightly. So you're pulling that up like so it gathers it up, and then you're going to go back into that seamed edge and give it a pull, and that pulls those two edges together with a bit of a gather in the middle. And what you'll need to do now is you'll need to just do a couple of stitches on the spot, if you like, through that fold and through that seamed edge, just pulling them up together. Now when you do the first one, you're like, what's happening here? This isn't going to look, what am I doing? It looks a bit weird, but just trust the process.
What's happening?
Because I did my first one and I was like, that doesn't look anything like the way the lady did it, but it works. So it's like when you watch anything, isn't it, that somebody else has been doing for a long time. They make it look so easy. I do a couple of stitches, and then on the third stitch, I go through that loop I've created just to anchor that stitch down. And then I take my needle through.
Whoa. Did you just anchor that by swivelling it round your finger?
No, I just did the loop with the thread and put it through the needle through the loop.
Do you remember on the sewing quarter, Jennifer Taylor used to finish off by going around her finger a few times and then she'd run it down the thread?
Yes.
I've never worked out
It's a
how she did
quilter's,
that.
that's a quilter's knot. And then I take my needle right through to the back and I try to get pretty much in the same space as my original knot is, so it's exactly the same. And then I'll just do a couple of stitches on the spot, and again just on the loop, put the needle through, and that just creates like a knot, and then just snip the thread off. And then we go to the next one, and again we'll make a knot in the thread, and I do similar to Jenny then when I do that knot, but I can't do it when it's actually in the fabric. I can do it just with the thread, but not the other way. So you go to the next one, and it's the same thing, pretty much in the middle, but this time you're going to go to the folded edge first, grab hold of, just stitch through that folded edge, then a running stitch, and this time we're sort of going upwards towards the seamed edge.
Jane, everyone's very quiet as they're watching.
They're watching that.
Yeah,
and so again,
I could just see everyone coming back on board. So Carol's snuck in, June snuck in, Jan's here, Virginia's here, Christina's here, and everyone's very quiet.
Yeah,
we've managed to work out it was the itty bitty eighths ruler that you'd switch to. You
yes, because it's just a bit longer.
5,
yeah.
And then, because Sue was like, but it has smaller bits on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, yes, it was the itty bitty eighths. Only just because it's a bit of a bigger ruler, and so I can get the.
It's got that extra Jane.
Longer edge to line up my dots. Again, we're just going over and over, pulling those two pieces up, creating that shape, and then, as I say, on that last one, probably the third or the fourth one over, depending on how you feel, you're just going to go through that loop just to tie it off. You take your needle back down through, sort of on top of your stitching, and aiming to come pretty much where you started with that piece, and just doing a couple of stitches to anchor it. Into the fabric and then through the loop.
It is a very effective technique, isn't it?
Yeah. Now you can see now how that's brought that edge up, but as you do it, and as I say, and you'll give it a press afterwards and it will lie flatter, And if you're putting a wadding on the back and you can quilt round the edge, that's going to make it lie completely flat then. But it's quite, there's no sort of precision needed.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a little bit off on the one side to the other. I mean, try and aim to be opposite when you're doing your stitches, but if it's not, it just still gives that texture to it and that effect. So it's into the middle, completely over to the seamed side, a running stitch that goes slightly down towards the folded edge. I'm not going through all the layers, I'm just going through the layer of the triangle. I haven't gone through the layer of the backing, the base fabric, it's just through that triangle bit. Give it a pull and then take the thread over from the seamed edge to the folded edge, and again just a couple of times just to give it stability. I'm just using ordinary cotton thread, I'm not using a specialist thread or anything like that. You might want to just give it a little bit of a manipulation just to hold so that it does make the nice shape. And then that last one, I'm just going to go through that loop that I've created and then back down and coming pretty much in the same place as I started. You can, from this point, you could go into, you don't have to cut your thread off, you could go into the next one, but if you're going to do that, just be careful. It's very tempting because you're pulling up the thread as you go to pull that up, which will distort it at the back. So I did that on one of them, but then decided it was much better.
Do you remember
to
when
snip
we used to
each
do
one.
Sashco, Jane? And it was
Yeah.
always that you left a long loop at the end before you went, for exactly that reason,
Yeah.
so that you didn't pull.
Pull it up.
Gosh, I don't know where I dredged that up from, but it's amazing, isn't it, what your brain stores.
What you remember.
Now, Anne has just asked, sorry I missed it earlier, what's the deal with the chambray? If you add 1 metre of bamboo toweling to your basket and 1/2 metre of your chosen yarn dyed chambray, then the price of the chambray disappears and you get it for free.
Amazing.
Amazings.
There's some lovely combinations that you could do. We've got some, some pretty pinks.
And Laura says, what is the multi-deal offer on the website? If you buy one of the Tilda Chambray bundles, which were the dots and the what's-its we showed you earlier, then you can get another Tilda Chambray bundle half price.
Shall I show it again?
Yeah.
So you buy one, you get one free. Do you remember
price.
that advert?
Yes.
It's not free though. You
It's
buy
half
one,
price.
you get one half price.
Yeah,
there we
there you
are.
go.
Aren't they beautiful? Lovely.
And the thing is, Jane, Tilda Chambrays retail at more than her printed fabric.
They're just gorgeous.
They
as well.
always have done. So
Well,
this is
It's a different process, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
it's the weave, the woven.
so this is our way of trying to make it a little bit more.
I'm trying to get the camera angle. I
For
can't
you.
get the camera angle.
Where are you going?
I'm trying to get it in, but I don't think it's going to work.
I can zoom out.
There we go.
I'm just sitting on the floor, Jane, down here because I haven't got a chair anywhere. And my foot hurts.
Between us we make a whole person, don't we? With your foot and my knee, whereas
We're all a little bit broken, aren't we? But
just a little bit.
carrying on. We are
Carrying on regardless.
soldiering on.
Because we're women and that's what we do.
I know.
I'm fine, I'll be fine, it's okay, just let me get on with it.
It's either that or we're like the knights who say, "Neek,
Yeah.
it's a mere flesh wound."
Come back, I'll bite your ankles. Yeah.
Oh, your mum's here. Hi, Kate.
Hello, Mum.
Oh.
So just a simple gathering stitch. Again, you don't have to worry about, your stitches all being even. As long as you get a nice gather in there.
Oh, it's pretty, Jane. I wonder if there's a way you could do this smaller and make a ornament for the top of the tree.
You probably could. You'd make your rectangle smaller, wouldn't you, to start with? I think you could probably do a 2.5 by 4 inch rectangle would give you quite a smaller square that you could then simply back the square and stuff
or
it,
even
couldn't
make
you?
like a pocket to put over the top of the tree.
Yeah.
Because with the best will in the world, I don't know about you, but I can never get the star to sit straight. And if I have to wind around with wire or whatever at the top of the tree.
Yeah, it never wants to go, does it? Just wants to wonk over.
Jane, I threw out most of our Christmas cupboard.
Did you have a bit of a
Purge.
purge?
Yeah.
It's a good excuse to buy more beautiful decorations, though, isn't
Do
it?
you know what? I don't actually have to.
You just have a really good sort out.
No, so the story is Josh's mum was a Christmas fanatic.
Oh wow!
And she every year used to buy a different ornament from Liberty.
Nice.
So when I was sort of saying, oh, these Christmas decorations, had them for years, and Josh's dad was saying, I've got 8 boxes full of in the attic. So we're going to have, because Josh's mum died nearly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're going to have her Christmas decorations on our tree.
Oh, what a lovely tribute.
Yeah. Really beautiful ones. And because he's like, I'm never going to put a tree up again.
No.
And it just seems so sad to have those beautiful, beautiful things sitting there. And ours weren't expensive decorations or anything like that. So they got donated. And I have no idea what our Christmas tree is going to look like this year because I haven't seen any of them.
You probably don't even know where you're going to put it yet. Because
No.
like when you're in a house, you know exactly, don't you, where you're going to have everything. Because you do it every year.
Yeah.
And you know exactly
We'll
what
have
to
a
do.
big one in the dining room. But then we need to have a little something in here.
Yes.
I don't know where, Jane.
We'll
I
find
really have
someone.
no idea where, but we'll come up with something.
You can see now, look how that's coming together. That's really
Oh,
pretty.
Oh yeah, no.
Just got 2 more triangles to do.
Clever.
It doesn't take long to make it, does it, really?
No.
Making 3 of them and putting them together is quite straightforward because it's just a straight edge. They're not on point. It's the star inside the aperture that's on point. So it really is just straight edge sewing. And I bagged it out. I didn't pipe it, or I didn't put a backing on and then bind it, which you could do, but I just bagged mine out. So
you could have lots of fun quilting and doing all sorts, couldn't you?
And I just did a faux by quilting round the edge, just inside the seam, round the edge. It's giving it like a faux piped edge.
Now Gemma's said that we do have a few of the interfacing and wooding scrap bags left. I actually know where they are as well.
Yes, we found those yesterday.
Please buy those, because we know where they are.
Yes.
That's a nice easy pick.
I think I said to Natasha about 3 times yesterday, I just need to find the... She's like, I know where those are, Jane. They're on top of the shelves with the planes on. And I must have said it 3 times.
Yeah.
And every time you answered me,
yeah,
I was like, she's just told me that. She's probably thinking, Jane, I've just told you that.
it's okay. I think we're going to do that to each other quite a lot.
It's just like, you get a thing in your head, don't you, that you're like, if I can find that, everything will be all right.
Yes, absolutely. Anne says, come up with a pattern for a wall-mounted tree. Well, we did the pin-tuck 3D Christmas tree, didn't we, the other week? So that's the one.
Yeah, that would work. That's beautiful. I've got because we spend Christmas at my mum's, so there's really not much point in putting up too many decorations at our own house, because we spend most of our time at Christmas at my mum's house. So I've got I had a printed panel I bought years ago, and I just quilted it, and then you know how we put the lights behind the
Yes.
panel. I did that with it, so that lights up and sits on the wall, and then we just put all the parcels. If anybody brings us a present, we put that underneath before we then take them up to my mum's.
Oh, nice.
To open
I think
on the
this
day.
is the thing, that the like our old house had been, obviously Josh and I had lived there for a couple of years, but it had also been the family house before my divorce.
Yes.
So there was also a lot of that life left there as well to clear. So it's sometimes nice just to have a bit of a purge and to create new traditions new memories. It's really nice. And I think that's part of being a family, isn't it? Is having those traditions.
Yes, because you make your own. You sort of have traditions that you carry on from your childhood, but then you also bring traditions from your partner's childhood, and that combines and makes your own family traditions.
You see, my mum is like me.
I'm just going to give this a press now. Like I said, I'll just give it a squish of steam on those 2 points there, just to... I'm not pressing the actual textured part, but I'm just going to press these bits around the edge, and it just flattens it out a bit. And you might want to do it on the reverse, just so that it gives it a flatter.
Yeah, you see, my mum's like me. She's terrible. When she's got presents to give, she wants to give them immediately.
Yes.
And so one of our family traditions ended up being that on Christmas Eve you could open one present.
Yes.
Which we were, and now that's sort of become Christmas pyjamas.
Yeah. My cousin has her Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve, so that the children can just open their parcels and eat the chocolate, and nobody gets upset about them eating too much chocolate and not eating the Christmas dinner.
Perfect.
So they have their Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So that on Christmas Day people can eat whatever they want. She just has a bit of a buffet table out, but the children can eat all their chocolates and everything else.
Nice. I think I
There
hear
we
it
go.
slightly. Hang on. Whoop, let me just... Oh. Whoop. I'm coming around.
It's still a bit wobbly, but when you sew it together and then when you put the wadding in...
Oh, no, wrong way. Sorry, learner driver.
It will flatten out. And what you could do as well, if you really want to make it, you could put some interfacing on the back just to give it a bit more to hold it flat.
If you had...
Let's see that. Just trying to... There we go.
Oh, gorgeous.
That
I
way.
think a few little rhinestones
Yeah, and
would...
if you're worried about that bit in the middle, you could add a button, but it's quite nice, isn't it? And it's very tactile, and if you make it into a cushion, you'll spend a lot of time with it on your knee, just stroking it and feeling the texture.
I think it's very obvious now why we needed to have those two contrasting fabrics.
Yeah, you need to be able to see that star, flower, whatever you want to call it.
Gorgeous.
But you can see, I mean, it's not exact, and it's got a little bit of depth and texture to it, but you still get the effect.
But Jane, that's how you know that it's been lovingly handmade and not made in industrial quantities in a factory in China. That's the thing, isn't it? It's beautiful.
So yeah, there you go.
Well done, beautiful. When these fabrics are gone, they're gone. This is the last call, really, isn't it, on these blender ones? So if you again, calling them blenders, Jane,
it's just
criminal.
So this doesn't seem right. I'm trying to work out the camera. That's it. Bring it towards me.
I hope you're not expecting me to know, because I have no clue.
I do. It's sort of, you work backwards, don't you? When you think you want something further away, you actually bring it towards you.
But it's also, the camera's on the side rather than overhead, so it's thrown us completely. But we will get there. Once all the equipment arrives and we find the box with the other camera in, then we'll be good.
Josh's box, like my interfacing yesterday, Josh's is a camera one. I must have mentioned it twice, if not 3 times this morning. There's a box somewhere with the other cameras in. I said, yeah, it's probably over there with all those boxes.
Yeah, no, I've looked. And I know the shape of it, and it's not that moving box shape.
Yeah.
So we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll find it.
I'm still sat on the floor because I can't get up. I'm stuck. But thank you. There you go, Jane. You
have to put it with just me, I'm afraid.
Front and centre. Thank you ever so much. Tomorrow, Jane, I bring you something we have never stocked before. Dun, dun, dun. Anybody want to guess what it is? Anyone?
Well, I know, so that would... Do you want me to say? Or should we keep it a secret?
No, I think we should say.
We've got beautiful boiled wool.
I am so excited for this.
Gorgeous colours as well.
They're super rich, aren't they, and vibrant?
Beautiful. Beautiful. You're going to love them. It's such a versatile fabric. And of course, with boiled wool, you don't have to seam it, do you? Because it doesn't fray.
So you can bag make with it. You can make wraps with it, scarves with it, all those sorts of things with it. But also, what was the other thing? Pumpkins. There seems to be a thing this year for boiled wool pumpkins.
Yeah.
Last year was velvet. This year, boiled wool.
They'll make beautiful pumpkins.
Can't wait.
Exciting.
Can't wait. So we're going to do a very, very simple make with it tomorrow, just to get a feel for it, because I've not used it before, and see if you like it.
Wonderful.
I love it.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So we'll see you tomorrow with my boiled wool, if I can actually get off the floor. I'm a bit stuck.
We'll have to pull her up.
No, Jane's just going to climb over me. I'm down here. Woo! Thank you ever so much for joining us. You've been delightful as ever. Take care. Make sure you get those orders in, because otherwise they'll be gone and you'll be sad. We don't want that.
Yes, you will. Don't be sad.
We will see you tomorrow. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.